What up, leaders? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're at Caricom and UG Road intersecting with the train line road. And the reason why we're in this neck of the woods, partly because of course I came running in this direction this morning, but also because I thought it would be a good idea to follow up on that video on developments along the old train line. And what we saw in that video is that the government is turning the train line from Massay Street to Sheriff Street into a 4-lane highway. They're widening the train line, turning it into a wide road. And I noticed in the media that that is what they plan to do with the entire train line road. So this is a train line road, and it seems as if they're going to turn it into something that looks like the Rupert Craig Highway, with 2 lanes going west, which is the direction in which we're moving now, and 2 lanes going east. And that might be the reason for these piles of dirt on the sides of the road, because they plan to widen this road. They plan to make the road wider, and the way they're going to do it is to reclaim the parapet. They're going to reclaim the land on the sides. That is what would have been the sidewalk. Craziness. And she's on the cell phone while driving. But that's what's happening here, guys. These guys, it's Friday morning, rush hour traffic. These guys, that is, the government is going to turn this parapet and part of that canal into roadway. So that's why we're on the train line road this morning. Everybody is rushing. That's looking east into the sunset, into the sunrise. And the reason why we're going in this direction is because we don't want to film, we don't want to record this video looking into the sun. But this is what is happening along the train line road so far. These are new houses that have been built in the last, I don't know, 5-6 years or so. And further along, these on this side of course have been here much longer. These are houses that have been built maybe in the last 20 years. But these are the new houses that are building. See, behind this one there's another structure going up. But yeah, the idea apparently is to turn this road, this train line road, into a wider 4-lane highway. It seems to me that that will require taking up all of these lampposts. Yeah, like what's happening behind there. They're doing some new construction. So a lot of houses are being built in this neck of the woods. They're going to turn this into a 4-lane highway, which means that they're going to have to pull up all of these lamp posts, because they're going to be, of course, in the middle of the road. These guys are turning, and I think this is what they're trying to combat. The traffic coming into Georgetown in the morning are already using, so the traffic is already using this road as a 2-lane road into Georgetown. And I guess in response to that, the government is trying to widen this road to turn it into a 4-lane road. But it's going to be a major development. I suppose they're going to have to reclaim some of this canal. There's a wide canal on the south side of this road. On the north side, of course, in the far distance, about a quarter mile, is the Atlantic Ocean. That's Movie Town behind there. So that's Movie Town. And then that's Ansa McCall's grocery or shopping center, a lot like Costco or BJ's Wholesale Club. We should go in there one day, take a look around and see what's happening. These are new homes in the Caricom area. These homes have been built in this Caricom community. Probably take a walk around there sometime in the future, in the near future. In fact, today I was supposed to give you guys an update on Timeri International Airport. I heard that they completed the air bridge and I wanted to go take a look at it. I think the Chedijagan International Airport announced that they had completed the air bridge and I wanted to take a look at it. Now this is some commercial rental property. It was built by one of Guyanese real estate moguls, and these guys have been renting this building out to Caricom. We're leaving Caricom, entering the village of Pattinson or Pattinson. So this road runs beside, see, this road runs beside the movie town. Morning. And Ansa McCall's shopping center. We'll take a quick detour. What I want to show you in this neck of the woods is this. So we're actually in the vicinity of Caricom. This is the Caricom headquarters, Caricom building. And next door, that's a monument convention center. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Just want to take a closer look here at the back side of Movie Town, because you can usually see it from the seawall side, and I want to show you what's happening here in this neck of the woods. There's a major shopping center that is similar in size to, let's say, a Costco or a BJ's Wholesale Club, but I don't think they're a wholesale club. They're just a large Massay, I think, yeah, Trinidadian, basically a Trinidadian company that set up a massive shopping center in Ghana. They've been setting up shopping centers all over the country in the last 2 decades or so. Pattinson, this is the village of Pattinson. Somebody's building a house over here, and don't know who these, somebody's selling vehicles, used vehicles I suppose. These are all Hondas. Morning. So basically I want to show you that this is Ansa McCall's, well, Massay stores. It's Massay stores, and I haven't really done any shopping here yet, but it's a massive shopping center and similar in size to the wholesale clubs in the US, but they're a Trinidad chain. Somebody's asking whether it would make sense to set up some hardware stores in Guyana. The answer is yes, but this is what you're competing with. So this is Massay stores, huge parking lot, right? Huge parking lot, and that's the back end of Movie Town, right? That's the back end of Movie Town. The back entrance of Movie Town, and this is Massay stores. It says Massay Mega, Massay Stores Mega. So this is a huge store with concrete floors and large racks of merchandise, usually groceries and stuff. Haven't shopped there, but I'll probably come show you that sometime in the future. But let's get back to what we were talking about. All of this land here in Caricom is to be developed, probably going to be housing. As the city expands, the greater Georgetown area expands, you're probably going to get a lot of new housing developments in this area. I don't know who owns the land, but that's probably the future of this neck of the woods. But to get back to talking about the development of the train line road. Somebody's selling these used Hondas. To get back to talking about the train line road, some Toyotas mixed in here as well. The government is planning to widen the train line road, and you can see the reason why, because of all the traffic, particularly in rush hour, that takes up both lanes going in the same direction and creating what looks like dangerous traffic hazard, especially for people walking on the side of the road and there's no shoulder or sidewalk. But what we saw in the previous video on what's happening to the old train line is the beginning of the widening or the expansion of this train line road. So it seems as if what they're going to do is to build out that expansion all the way onto this part of the train line and turn this entire stretch of road into a 4-lane highway all the way as far as it goes, I suppose. Right, all the way as far as it goes. So both lanes of traffic are coming down to Georgetown. It's a double yellow line dividing these two halves of the dual carriageway, but of course everybody's ignoring that now and driving on both sides. Okay, Dyrock again. Apparently Dyrock is doing a lot of construction, leaving their signs around the place. So, or maybe they're sign painters, I don't know. But this is what's happening here on the train line road at Pattinson. This is the Caricom Secretariat. The headquarters of Caricom is in Guyana, and it's here, right at Pattinson. Caribbean Community Secretariat. Somebody's building a huge structure across the street from it, and the next intersection is the entrance to Giftland Mall. That's what's happening across the street from Caricom Secretariat. The visitor parking on the outside. But this is what is going to happen out here. They're going to reclaim a lot of this parapet and shoulder of the road to create a 4-lane highway, and that is what we were seeing in the beginning. That is in the previous video on what's happening on the old train line. This is the entrance to the Giftland Mall. Haven't been back to the Giftland Mall since I made that video where I had a confrontation with the security guards who claimed that it was private property and I shouldn't be filming there. I haven't been back. But Giftland Mall is about a quarter mile down this road. Food Max stores. So yeah, a quarter mile down this road is the Giftland Mall. You can see some signs there, some signage, and that huge structure in the distance, that's the mall, Giftland Mall. We're going to take a look at it again sometime. I haven't been back, like I said, in a number of years because they didn't want me to film on their property. Here is the Convention Center. Convention Center right next door to Caricom Secretariat. This is where the government holds its parliamentary business now. Parliament buildings downtown Georgetown is out of favor, particularly with this government, and so a lot of their budget debates have been taking place here at the Convention Center. You see it says their budget 2023. Budget 2023. Across the street is the National Aquatic Center. That's the Convention Center. Now this is where most of the debate on the national budget is taking place. I haven't really been focusing a lot on the budget debate. Over here is the Aquatic Center. So this is supposed to be a public swimming pool, but like all things in Guyana, poorly managed, a lot of corruption, and the people who are supposed to be able to use it, kids training for the Olympic Games and so on, don't really have access. In fact, I tried to get access to that pool because I wanted to create a swim team for, you know, adults who wanted to swim, and I couldn't get access to it. So I decided I'm gonna have to build my own pool and my own resorts. Tennis and golf resorts, that's my specialty. You're gonna see that coming in the future once my companies get off the ground. One of the 23 companies is golf and tennis resort. But this is what's happening here, guys. These are all buildings, new buildings are going up. Have been built in the last 5 years at the Pattinson, next door to the Convention Center. There the sign says National Aquatic Center. National Aquatic Center. And this is the train line road, the old train line from Georgetown, ran along the coast. I don't know how far it got. I don't know if it reached all the way to Rossignol. May have reached Rossignol, but this train line was turned into a road, and now the government is trying to widen the road because of the volume of traffic now entering the city at rush hour. There is no sidewalk and very little shoulder of the road, so it's kind of dangerous. Here in Liliendal, we're entering the village of Liliendal. And this entrance, you should be able to get through this entrance all the way back to Sophia, but I don't know if they've completed the road to do that. But there's a whole lot of construction going on here. Let's see what is it they're building. It seems as if they're building this. What is it? It says Pasha Blue Bridge. Looks as if they're building some kind of resort. It looks as if they're building some kind of resort and hotel. It says Pasha Global Blue Bridge Inc. and Go Invest. And this is what is there now. It seems as if they're building some kind of resort, hotel, village. I'm gonna go in there and take a closer look in the next video. But for now, this seems to be what they're building in this neck of the woods. What's there now doesn't look anything like what's on this poster, but maybe it's too early. We'll go in and take a look. I see a lot of people coming out. People look like they're working on the site. Well, it looks like a lot of construction vehicles. There are construction vehicles on the site and a lot of activity. There's some cranes. All right, there's some cranes there. And there's a fenced-in area. So I'm assuming that construction of that hotel resort is already in place. That's Lily now. Pump Road. Pump Road takes you out to the water pump that pumps water over the seawall, drains the land after it rains and floods. So this is a train line road, guys. Now this part of the road, there seems to be a significant reserve, a significant parapet on the south side of the road. And so I can see where they will get the land. There's a large canal. Right, there's a large canal on the south side as well. So it seems as if they're going to reclaim some of this canal and the land on the south side of the road to create this 4-lane highway. But at certain sections along this train line, it gets narrow and there are houses on both sides. So I'm not too sure what will happen in places like Good for Wacton, Better for Wacton, and Plaisance, where the train line road gets narrow. The reserve is narrow because people built their homes very close to the road. But what is emerging is that the development that we've seen in the previous video on the train line is in fact the start of an expansion drive. In other words, a huge public works project to widen this train line road. Like I said, this used to be the train line. This is where the train line was positioned for the train that took you from Georgetown to say Rossignol. And I still think that there needs to be a train, some form of mass transit to take care of what is likely to be a massive growth in the population over the next decade. There are people who are arguing in the comments that Guyana doesn't need a train because the population is too small. Those people are short-sighted. I'm amazed at how short-sighted people are. Maybe they're not able to see the future. But trust me, the future of Guyana is very, very bright, and it involves huge population growth. Right now, the GDP is growing at 50% to 60% per annum. There's a large influx of people from South America and the Caribbean, and they're all welcome here. Maybe I should do some interviews with Caribbean people living in Guyana, and with Brazilians, Venezuelans, Colombians living in Guyana right now who've moved here in the last 5 years, so that our Guyanese living in New York, Toronto, London can understand how massive the influx of the population is. The influx of people from other countries is into Guyana. So if you're in Guyana right now and you're living here in the last 5 years, having come here from any of the South American countries, and you're willing to do an interview in English, or you've come here from the Caribbean and you want to appear on Raffle Nation, leave a comment or send me an email so we can arrange to have you on the channel. But the whole idea is to convince people who are leaving stupid comments like Guyana doesn't need a train because the population is too small, to convince those people that in fact they are wrong. The population is exploding, and for the first time in probably 50 years the population is growing, and that is why you need mass transit, because it's more efficient, it's safer, and it can take a large volume of people, take a lot of this traffic off the roads. But this is what's happening here, guys. This is what's happening on the train line road. In where we are, Liliendal. We've come all the way from Turkine, right, UG Road, and we're going to Sherrill Street. And what is the whole point of this is to show you what the state of the train line road is right now, and what the goal is. So the government wants to expand this road to turn it into a 4-lane highway. And what we were looking at in the previous video, which I called What's Happening on the Old Train Line, is that they were building 4 lanes of road from Lamaha Street all along the train line, and you can see evidence of that in the last video. And since then I've actually seen media reports, right, news reports in the media that say the whole plan is to turn this train line road into a 4-lane highway for its entire length. Now I don't know how long that will take. Probably will take about a couple of years, maybe as many as 5 years. Morning. Probably take as many as 5 years to complete, because this is a massive public works undertaking, but also because you can see the traffic moving in one direction, both sides of the road. A volume of traffic apparently justifies expanding this road. In fact, the same volume of traffic that you see here also happens on Rupert Craig Highway. So there's another 4-lane highway north of here, Rupert Craig Highway, and it turns out that on rush hour it's traffic jammed from traffic light to traffic light into the city. And so they're basically trying to keep up with the volume of traffic commuting into Georgetown on a workday during the week. Coming to Bel Air, the village of Bel Air. There are lots of Bel Airs. You saw Bel Air Park, there's Bel Air Springs, Bel Air Gardens, and so this is Bel Air on the east coast. See the seawall at the end of this street. Seawall at the end of this street. And this is the village of Bel Air. Still on the train line road, coming up to the end of it, that is the intersection with Sherrill Street around this corner, where the traffic is backed up and waiting for the traffic light or to cross over that traffic circle. But this is what's happening here, guys, on the train line road. this house has been completed apparently. This is a new building. It's been constructed in the last couple of years or so. Last time I was here, I think there was a frame, they were still building it. And now it seems as if it's almost complete. They're also building some residential buildings there. Some residential buildings here in the village of Bel Air. This is the LEFI church. Apparently it's something new. I haven't seen this before. It's called Layman's Evangelical Fellowship International. Church is now a big business in Guyana. Yeah, so somebody's built what seems to be condominium here on Train Line Road. It's probably not yet completed, although structurally it seems as if it's finished. So yeah, it seems as if it's still under construction and empty. So, but this is Bel Air, village of Bel Air. There's a traffic light, I think, coming up that holding traffic back. And like I said, this is a dual carriageway with, on an ordinary day, traffic going in both directions. But now I think because of rush hour, they've turned it into 2 lanes, both lanes heading into the city. And I guess it's the reason why they're going to turn this into a 4-lane highway. But this is what's happening here, guys. It's the Train Line Road, and like I said, if you're gonna turn this into a 4-lane highway, it means reclaiming a lot of this land from the canals on both sides, because the road itself, that is the embankment on which the road is built, is not wide enough for 4 lanes. It might have been sufficient for 2 lanes, but it's not wide enough for 4 lanes. And so